Racing Welfare was formed 22 years ago now. We had a group of charities that were all very small and all had slightly different purposes and different properties in, and they weren't working together in any way. So at the time, the steward at the Jockey Club, who was charged with looking at charities, decided to try and simplify it and bring them together. And when he did that, he formed Racing Welfare. The Injured Jockeys Fund stayed as it was. It was already a quite well-formed charity at that point. And then they also created another charity, which is now known as Racing Homes, which is a housing association. So within our group of charities, the two main ones are Racing Welfare and Racing Homes. And Racing Welfare is there to support all of the people that work in racing. So we're a human welfare charity, and we support everybody that works in the industry. So there's 20,000 people that work in horse racing and make the show happen. And so we're there to support those people. And then through our housing association, Racing Homes, we provide housing for those people who need it most. So we have 165 units of accommodation around the country, mainly focused in those racing centres of Newmarket, Midland, Moulton and Lambourne, and a bit in Epsom. And we can make sure that we can support those who need housing most and also help them with housing advice. So those two charities work really closely together in the Racing Welfare umbrella to support all the people that work in racing. It costs around £3.5 million to run the charity each year, and we don't get any government or industry funding for that. So all that money has to be raised and found by us. So we do a whole host of different things in order to fill that gap so that we can continue our services. We have a bunch of grants and trusts that we apply to every year, and we have got some incredible supporters that regularly give us via those channels. We have donations, we have regular givers, we have people that come to our events, we have people that fundraise for us independently, we have marathon runners, we have ultra marathon runners, we have people doing all sorts of crazy challenges which we love to support and hear all about. We have a bank of investments which give us a bit of interest each year, and we also have some corporate givers as well. Through sponsorship as well as just annual contributions. So that's how Racing Welfare is funded. It's hard work because we've got to keep pushing to get that money in so that we can keep the service running seamlessly. But I think what we do is really, really important for the industry, and it's imperative that we keep pushing forward. 22 years ago, there was lots of little charities doing little bits for different parts of the industry, and it wasn't until it was all brought together under one umbrella that actually the size of a charity could start to make a big impact on the industry and form much more sort of holistic services for the industry. And that's developed over the last 22 years in a huge way. And in fact, the big growth and the big developments happened in the last 6 years. And racing really now has an incredible service provision from Racing Welfare in terms of mental health support, occupational health support. There's a 24-hour support line that people can contact 365 days a year, a careers advice training service which we do in conjunction with the BHA's Careers in Racing part of their organisation. We have addiction support and counselling. We have a lot of proactive services, so a lot of work to help prevent people getting into crisis. I think Racing Welfare is known by most as being there for people who are in crisis, but we do a lot more than that. It's really important that we do as much as we can to prevent people getting to that point. We help with financial assistance and a whole host of other things which you can find on our website. So we do an awful lot that people don't know about, and we do those core things that people do hopefully know about. We've got offices in Lambourne, Moulton, Midland, as well as Newmarket, but we have our employees dotted all around the country. So we have a field force of welfare officers that are based from Scotland all the way down Wales and the West Country across to Epsom, London, and then on the way back up to Newmarket. So we hope that those people who have a passion for the sport, enjoy it, go racing, and it's a wonderful form of entertainment for them, will want to somehow support us. And that can be anything from spreading the word about what we do, following us on social media, and hitting that like button or sharing anything that we are posting that they think might be relevant. But some people want to get a bit more involved, and we do a whole host of events through the year, either things that people can come to, like you might want to come to York and watch stable staff boxing or racing staff boxing, or you might want to take part in a cycle ride for us, or this year we've got a great event which is the Three Peaks Challenge. So that's a walking event over a weekend where you do the Three Peaks in Yorkshire and raise a bit of money for us, through to people who might consider doing some regular giving. So we have a scheme called Friends of Racing Welfare where someone can contribute £5 a month or more towards us, or they might buy that as a Christmas present for somebody. And so there's so many different ways in which people can get involved and support racing welfare, which in turn, obviously, all that money goes to support the people that work in racing that make the sport happen. So hopefully, if anybody feels compelled to support us, you can find all that information on our website. Follow us on social media. We're always putting out notifications about what we're doing.